All right, the type of things that are happening in Nigeria, you begin to imagine if there is any future. If Nigerians' children have future in this country. Everything is about what to grab, what to lay your hands, and that will turn you into millionaire, where you put your hands, where anything that belongs to government, how you put your hands and grab it and run away. That is what everybody cares. Nobody cares about future of the children or things that will benefit the country. That's why people are clamoring for the vision. Because you see that holistically, there is no holistical thinking. Everything is about crook. How can you neglect this type of educational adventure, competition, international competition, because you don't care about it? Or maybe because it's one shoemaker that is there as the head. You do a kind of appointment, kind of selection you don't care about anything. That's why we are seeing this kind of a thing. We would have missed this chance. These children from the East, they would have missed that chance if this man did not take it upon himself, Mr. Alex, did not take it upon himself to take these children for that competition. Now, they are reporting Nigeria representative. Meanwhile, the Nigeria government did not sponsor it. A Southeasterner sponsored children from Southeast to go there, international competition, to go and compete. If it's a functional society, that Mr. Alex that took that children with his own expenses, Nigeria is supposed to pay that man times 10 of that amount or more. Aside that, such person should be appointed as Minister for Education. Major, not for state, or Minister for Education. If we really know what we are doing in this country, but nobody cares. Everything is about who no man no man, who bring candidates, who no bring candidates. You must make this candidate minister for this. This one must be minister for this. Meanwhile, the person is there doing nothing. Don't worry. Una eye go clear. Everybody eye go clear in this country. But all I know is that we cannot continue like this. We cannot continue like this. Well, let me not talk too much. Let's hear the details of what happened from Donaza. Let's hear him. Let's start with that because I'm coming up, but let's start with this first.
Hello, you are welcome to this class. As you can see, Punch newspaper. We will take them from here. Meet 3 Nigerian students competing with over 150 countries at Global STEM Olympiad. Now there be this. Mokuri comment before we start. As you can see, why change their identity? There's a reason why it's talking like this. They are called the Southeast team. We're going to see everything by their sponsor and people. So stick to that. You don't have to force oneness on everybody. And it is obvious that we had it won. My people who are champions of unity will wake up from their sleep someday. Okay? Look at this. Henry, meet 3 Southeast students. This definitely an Igbo guy, a Yoruba guy. We are going to look at the reason for all this, okay? Competing with over 150 countries at Global STEM Olympiad. This one said this headline is baseless and irresponsible. The headline ought to be meet the 3 Southeast students competing with over 150 countries at Global STEM Olympiad. It is high time the reporting should be based on what each region is doing to develop its space. This one said remove Nigeria, make okay, no punish you. They are privately sponsored by Alex. Don't involve your Abuja politicians that wish the youth fry akara akwilikwili. They are not Nigeria students. They are Southeast Math Olympiad champion competing with. Then this man said, Punch, Kasi say I put star because we need this name for another comment. Very important comment to understand the whole thing. Punch should stop this lazy journalism. There are over 70 other students from Nigeria in Rome presently participating in that same competition. Do your research and stop picking stories from social media. Okay? Now I'm going to start. What be all these things? Why like this? Why the argument? Why the Southeast thing? Why the attack and the rest? I'm going to start. As you can see, Mr. Alex, he is the owner of Educare, a software company where they support different schools and organizations. He get passion for school, for education, especially for STEM. What do you mean STEM? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay? He get that thing for a heart. If he put his last kobo for him, he can sponsor these 3 students. May they go compete for Rome. So you can see, now there be this. Who is Alex Onya? He is the CEO of Educare, EdTech, entrepreneur focused on STEM education. Father of Southeast Mathematics Olympiad. So you can see, this particular one, where those students they represent na in founder. The name of this particular one is called Southeast Mathematics Olympiad. You fit start Northwest or Enugu or Ogun State or Chidinma or Babatunde or Aboki Mathematics Olympiad. He started his own for the Southeast students. Okay? What did he do? He dey organize regional mathematics competition. You fit no remember am o. Make we go back. Now this man, na he raise alarm that time when JAMB wan do like this for Southeast students. You remember that time when we say almost all the Southeast students wey participate for JAMB, they almost all fail. Na him cause say the pattern today. Wetin happen? Na him raise alarm o, call the bombard JAMB. Na him the head of JAMB come say, make we go check o. What is this? This is a software glitch. They have to retake the exam. He get mind for education. More continue. So he organized regional mathematics competition for Southeast students. He thought say he go include coding very soon. For 2026 on, this year on, now 11,500 plus students participate for the competition. Okay? Out of all of them, those 3 students who you see, and they win. Okay? Now you can go sponsor them. Go Rome. May they go represent the Southeast Olympiad Mathematics. He covered the flight, visas, hotel, and all the expenses for the 3 students and 2 teachers. Okay? According to the report, he spent approximately 30,000 euros. Okay? Calm down, we are going somewhere. 3A, the students, we will see them one after the other. The first one I be Egujurom Onyedikachi Ethan 11. Onwobike Chubebu Victor 13. Don Anele Munachiso Marvelous 17. Represented Nigeria at Global STEM Olympiad. They are actually the face of Nigeria currently. But why we say Nigeria government no officially sponsor students from all across Nigeria for this type of program? We will see. Okay? Now they bring this argument. So we will see the teachers as students. So you can see now this teacher now be the teacher of these 2 students. Okay? His name now be Anthony Iwegbu. We will look at Ethan's record. Ethan now primary 6 student. They describe him as the best primary school mathematician in Nigeria. I don't know whether he don't participate for national exam anyway. Okay, this one, Don Anele, academic achievement, reportedly the best chemistry student in Nigeria in the IGCSE examination. Southeast Maths Olympiad won 1st place in the 2026 Southeast Mathematics Olympiad. He can receive 5 million grand prize as the overall best. Okay, also finished 1st in Nigeria at the National Mathematics Competition held in Abuja. International scholarship. Awarded a $100,000 scholarship to study in Canada. This one, a teacher now be Master Chisom Unachuku. More look at Victor's record. Victor Onwubike, GSS 3, academic achievement, reportedly completed KS Rod's engineering mathematics from beginning to the end. You know say, if you do engineering for school, university, you go agree say KS Rod now be the standard as engineering mathematics. They say he finish am from A to Z and he did JSS3. Okay? National recognition, described as the best junior secondary school mathematician in Nigeria. So, wetin come dey bring the argument? Now, wetin this thing be? Now they bring the argument so. As you can see, they call them the three wise men from the east. Why Southeast focus? Number one, because of funding. If he get mind for the entire country, but for now, he won't cover his people first. I'm talking about Mr. Alice. The project is regional by design. Covers Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo. Goal: build confidence, improve problem solving, awaken interest in STEM. Privately funded, not government. Now in they use the money they fund am. You too can also fund for your people. Why was there no official government sponsorship? No government funding provided. No allocation for flight for these students, visas, accommodation, participation fees, total cost estimated at over 32,000 euro. Alex Onya covered the entire cost. Historical pattern with our government. They delisted Nigeria because for a number of times, Nigeria no send any representative. Other countries they send, but our government never send for a long time. Now they delist Nigeria comot because they know they expect na again now. For not the set person. After all, na Hajj. Now they set people go for Nigeria. Or we do mass wedding, and that one they dress us for here. Or we follow Tinubu go UAE as entourage. Or we follow and go London for state visit. And that one they dress us here. You don't say Nigeria. Now Olodo uprising country. Now Pella and the rest now they celebrate for this side of the world. After all, you don't need certificate to become the next president, neither governor. They say no, even it's not needed. Why? Because Nigeria government no provide money for them. So they no encourage our students. Again, remember, say this side they say school na scam. They say officials no look am as that important. They say for the shortages, now they prevent participation. No be say student no dey to represent Nigeria. They no look am as priority. Now only to snatch ballot paper and the buses. Now be our oye agbero easy. Okay, look at what Alex Onya was tweeted. He said, the last time Nigeria participated in the International Mass Olympiad, IMO, was in 2019. The government reason then was that it was not important enough. The actual funding required is less than the cost of a brand new ILOS. Country where no value education can never move forward. That's how we are like this. This is the most prestigious academic competition in the world, and our children have been deprived of participation for years. Education has been pushed to the back seat for a long time, while illiteracy has been elevated. This needs to stop now. I tweet him. Again, he said Nigeria has now been delisted from the International Maths Olympiad. It is one of the most prestigious academic competitions in the world. Nigeria can now only participate as an observer nation, while other countries can participate fully. Okay, this was because of the Ministry of Education's inability to fund students for 4 consecutive years through National Mathematical Center. It is a big shame for Nigeria. Now in Twitter, we will continue. Global comparison. They say for China, Singapore, for this type of program, what they do for Rome, Italy, they send official delegations to support their students. Nigeria no send any official. It also no see any Nigeria government representative supporting the team, whether and the one where send to all the 70 students where that man referred to. No one person say I am from Nigeria mathematical whatever. We can't support you. No funding for that. But they get funding to donate rice. 7 key clarification what you need to know. One thing you going to be say International Olympiad they allow multiple entries or observer teams from the same country. Meaning as Alex sent 3 students, you fit send the entire country fit send. Niger State fit send. Sokoto fit send. Okay. Nigeria's research challenge at the delisting so now made Alex Onya call feed that vacuum. If the government actually acted, Onya students could still have gone. All those students for even participate for the national one, maybe they for even win. No go need to even send students go that side. And because Nigeria know they're serious, now actually create this one for the people. You understand? So this is Onya's project, not national selection. Only covers winners of his Olympiad. National competition is separate too. No obligation to include others. It's not a must. More pictures. So you can see this time it was say they were ready to go to Rome. Here it was say they don't arrive. Here it was say they don't arrive at the campus for Rome for the competition. Here, students from other countries, as you can see. He dey interview the youngest of them.
I will not say that the exam was easy, neither would I say that it was tough. But it was tough actually. The thing that surprised me the most is that the past papers, that is the one that we are using to practice, they are way different from the ones that we just got now. Because those ones were simple, very simple. Like these ones were a little hard. I did not answer like 4 questions, but the rest I was sure. And by God's grace, I will get home.
Okay, thank you.
After the exam, also interviewed Victor.
There you go.
It was good. There were difficult questions. Those ones were like, it made me see a different set of maths, like a wider range of calculations, and where you had to know some formulas. Like what formulas.
What do you think you are going to come out of?
I believe with this amount of difficulty that like it's not going to be easy for everyone, because if everything is easy, like nobody will actually be able to show their skill more. So I think when it's difficult, that's when people have to show their skill more. So I think that with the amount of preparation I do, I should come up.
You will come out of, right? Good luck. Thank you.
After the exam, I no see the video of the other one. You know, be only that one. Oh, Alex, so they prepare for next year already. As you can see, we visited Ebaje Model Secondary School Owerri to register their students for the 2027 Southeast Mass Olympiad competition. Participation is free. Oh, see, we are restoring hope to this generation. As you can see, he said, as at this date, June 24th, 25,000 students have now registered for the 2027 Southeast Mass Olympiad. Boys, 11,570, girls 30,430. Go break am down state by state. As you can see, as at today, he said over 30,000. That is from 25,000 now. Over 30,000 children have already registered for the 2027 Southeast Mass Olympiad. We will be unlocking a new set of exceptional students and teachers. CEO, remember I started one comment in the beginning. Look at it. He said the coding competition has started for the International STEM Olympiad Grand Finale in Rome, Italy. It is beautiful to see bright minds challenge themselves. Next year, we will have our children compete in the coding competition as well. Okay? Now, the man earlier styled his comment in Punch tweet. He thought that my son is also contesting in this competition. He is with the Ambassadors College team, referring to this coding side of the competition. Remember, say Alex owned correctly. Now, math. Now, according to this one, Italy, here we come. That is the ambassador schools. Yesterday, our 16 ambassadors departed for Italy to represent the ambassador schools and Nigeria and the International STEM Olympiad, where they will compete in coding, science, and mathematics along brilliant young minds from across the globe. Okay? So you can see, Alex talk say by next year, he go send their children to represent them or to go for the competition, the coding one. So in summary, what he are deduced from everything, Alex is saying that just like other countries that sponsor students nationally and send government representatives to Rome, Nigeria should have had an official presence too. Okay? Even if individuals, schools, or private sponsors decide to send their own students separately, the government should still show up officially. That alone sends a strong message to young people that the country values education. Students need to also know, say, we dey value education for this part of the universe. To know, say, education no be scam. Say, government dey support academic excellence. Na so I see am. So wetin una think for this issue? Una drop up a comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
So that is the story. When they say you're on your own, you understand these things, that there is big doubt if there is future Because a country that neglects such thing, I doubt if there is any good future that awaits it. That is the truth. You know, from what is happening, you can be able to deduce what can happen in the future. And that is exactly what is playing out today in Nigeria. Very unfortunate. Well, having said that, the Igbo race has continued to make the Igbos at large proud. Though, let's say, out of Nigeria, yes, an Igbo man always keep his head high. He's not bragging. Of course, if you don't blow your trumpet, it will rust. It will rust. So, as time goes on, once you blow your trumpet, so that it will sharpen, you clean it well, blow it, that's how you do. And that is our own trumpet that we are blowing now. And that is the truth about it. Yes, we are going to show you something that many of you don't know. Yes, many of you are not aware of this. An Igbo man.
In 1964, Nigeria barely had universities of her own. But inside one of the most guarded nuclear physics laboratories in Cambridge, England, a young Igbo man was standing where no Nigerian had ever been allowed to stand. He had just become the first Nigerian in history to hold a PhD in nuclear and high-energy particle physics. Not the first from Lagos, not the first from Ibadan, not even the first from the old Eastern region. He was from Asaba, he was Enuani, and he was fully, undeniably Igbo. His name was Professor Frank Ndili, and by the time this story ends, Cambridge won't even be the most important thing he did. Born on the 6th of October 1934 in Asaba, Delta State, Frank Ndili grew up on the same soil that has produced generations of Igbo scholars, engineers, and statesmen. Asaba is Enuani. Asaba is Igbo. That is not opinion. It is history, language, and lineage. He attended St. Patrick's College, Asaba, from 1950 to 1954. From there, he went to the University of Ibadan, where between 1957 and 1961, he did something rare for the time. He graduated with first-class honors in physics. First-class graduates get noticed. Cambridge noticed him. Between 1961 and 1964, Ndili studied at the University of Cambridge, and in 1964, he earned his PhD in nuclear and high-energy particle physics, becoming the first Nigerian in history to hold that specific doctorate. 1 year later, in 1965, the Italian Physical Society in Eris, Italy, awarded him the Alberti Tomasini Prize. He was also made a fellow of the British Institute of Physics in London, a recognition reserved for physicists at the top of their field. But Professor Frank Ndili didn't stop there. He lectured in physics at the University of Ibadan from 1964 into the late 1960s. He worked as a visiting scientist at the International Center in Trieste, Italy. And from 1968 to 1971, he served as principal scientific officer at the Dewsbury Nuclear Physics Research Laboratory in Warrington, England. Here is where honesty matters more than a clean story. Some biographical records list his Ibadan lecturing post as running to 1968. Others extend it to 1971 alongside his overseas posting. The exact overlap isn't fully settled in the public record, but every source agreed on the destination. By the late 1960s, Professor Frank Ndili had built a research career across 3 countries at a level almost no Nigerian scientist had reached before him. He could have stayed in Europe. Comfort, prestige, and some of the world's best-funded laboratories were his for the taking, but he chose to come back home. In 1971, after the end of the Nigerian genocidal war, Ndili joined the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, an institute still recovering from the devastation of the war. He rose fast, senior lecturer in 1971, head of Department of Physics from 1973 to 1976, then professor and dean of the Faculty of Physical Sciences in 1976. By this point, he was already being recognized as Africa's first professor of nuclear physics. In 1980, he became the 7th vice-chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He didn't just manage the institution, he rebuilt it. Under his leadership came the university's grand entryway, the Nnamdi Azikiwe Library, the School of General Studies, and the Faculty of Arts Complex, structures that still stand today as evidence of a mind that planned in decades, not semesters. He served until 1985, when Professor Chimere Ikoku succeeded him, following a period of inquiry that colleagues still remember him as having faced with honesty rather than evasion. In 2016, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, conferred on him the title of Professor Emeritus, a lifetime honor for scholars whose work will shape the institution itself. On the 13th of February 2024, Professor Frank Nwachukwu Ndili passed away at the age of 90, surrounded by his family, closing a chapter that had opened 70 years earlier in a classroom somewhere in Asaba. A man from Asaba became the first Nigerian to hold a PhD in nuclear and high-energy particle physics. A man from Asaba became Africa's first professor of nuclear physics. A man from Asaba rebuilt one of Nigeria's greatest universities after war had reduced it to rubble. This is not a side note in Igbo history. This is heartbeat of Igbo history. Asaba is Enuani. Enuani is Igbo. Frank Nwachukwu Ndili never once needed to hide where he came from to become great. To every son and daughter of Asaba who has never hesitated to claim that identity, your heritage was never a limitation. It built libraries, it split atoms, it rebuilt a university from scratch. Wear it proudly.
May God bless the university.
Amen.
Bless all of you who have passed through it.
Amen.
Bless all of us who ran the university.
Amen. Amen.
Our aim was to develop the university along the lines defined by Nnamdi Azikiwe, who is my hero.
Yes.
And I came to do his university proud.
Yes, sir.
And I hope I tried.
Yes, you did.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you enjoyed watching this documentary about the phenomenal achievements and contributions of Professor Frank Nwachukwu Ndili to Igbo development, please hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Share this video to your audience. My name once again is Prince Onwadenim.
Right, viewers, I thank you for coming along with me. We are learning every day. Yes, I've not heard about the professor. Yes, I have not earlier before now, and I'm sure many of you have not heard it. Well, that is the Nigeria that we find ourselves. But honestly, if we can be able to neglect our future, the future of our children, something is not properly done in this country. Something like education. Education. You'll be playing with it, playing politics with education. Well, that's why you see private schools now everywhere taking over, because what they are doing in government schools somehow is not encouraging. And these people that are doing these things, many of them enjoyed good quality education, some free in this country. Well, I leave it to you to drop your own contribution, your comments. And if you have not subscribed to YangaLife channel, please click on the subscription button, the notification bell, like this video, and don't forget to share it to other Igbo groups and individuals you know. Till I come your way next time.